Hello, everybody out there in TV land, and to all my friends and neighbors that's watching this video. I just thought I would share with you all this evening the Jet Magazine collection. Right now, I have 121 Jet magazines, um, starting from 1976 all the way to about 2010. I had a lot more, but I had to downsize a little bit. So I had to get rid of a lot of them that I had from the 90s and the 2000s. So I'm just going to show you all some of my favorite issues from the 70s and 80s and the 90s and 2000s. Right here we have Vanessa Williams, just like when she was starring in a TV show called Partners in Crime. This is from 1984. And next we have Mr. Harold Washington when he became the first black mayor of Chicago. Looks like this was around 1983. And let's see what else we have here. Jesse Jackson when he was running for president. And then we have down the wall here is Eddie Murphy when he starred in Beverly Hills Cop. And here's another Jet magazine with the Reverend Jesse Jackson from 1984. I've met Jesse Jackson probably about 2 or 3 times. The last time I saw him, he had to be carried away on the elevator because he was drinking too much at the hotel. And that's my last memory of Jesse Jackson. And there's Sammy Davis Jr. when he passed away in 1990. And here's Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie from 1985. There's Flip Wilson with his family from 1983. Okay, let's see what else we have here. There's Prince. Flip Wilson again from 1983. This is Ron Glass and Demond Wilson. Demond Wilson played on Sanford and Son, and that show aired from 1972 to 1977. After he left Sanford and Son, he went to a show called Baby I'm Back with Denise Nichols that aired in the late 70s right after Sanford and Son. After that show went off the air, he went to this show called The New Odd Couple, which was out around 1982. It didn't stay on the air long, but I'm sure you can go to YouTube and find the reruns. Right here, I have 2 issues of Keyshia Cole. I love Keyshia Cole. She's one of my favorite singers, even though I'm mad at her that she got with this guy and had another baby. I thought she was gonna wait on me. Ha ha ha. Let's see what else we got here. We got the legendary Pam Grier. She appeared in the Jet magazine. Let's see, looks like 2010. Pam Grier is in my opinion, one of the greatest actresses of all time. She played in such movies as Foxy Brown, Coffee, Sheba Baby, and Friday Foster. Let's see what else we have here. There's Herschel Walker when he was playing for Georgia. Herschel Walker, I believe, was on the 1980 national championship team. The last time Georgia won a national championship, I believe he was on that team. And here's President Obama when he was initially running for president back in 2008. There's Jody Watley. And here's Michael Jordan when he was returning to the NBA when he came back to play for the Washington Wizards. Okay, let's see what else we have here. There's Tiger Woods when he won the Masters. Actually, that was his second Masters that he won. There's the legendary Sidney Poitier. And there's one of the Jet Beauties of the Week. I believe this is from 1983. And there's Tina Turner. Let's see. This issue came out around the time her very successful album, Private Dancer, came out. That is a great album, full of hits, great songs. And there's the greatest of all time in terms of boxing, Muhammad Ali. This was in 1979. He was probably about to retire back then. And I believe he had his last fight in 1981, I believe. Let's see what else we got here. There's Gary Coleman, the star of Diff'rent Strokes, talking about his life. And I believe when this issue came out, this was after Diff'rent Strokes, because this was in 87. I believe Diff'rent Strokes went off the air in 86. Let's see what else we have here. This is Lionel Richie after he won the American Music Awards. Looks like he won about 3 awards that night. This was back in 85, February of 1985. Okay, and this is the group Fifth Dimension. If I'm not mistaken, Marilyn McCoo was in Fifth Dimension. Marilyn McCoo went on to become the host of the TV dance show Solid Gold, where she was a co-host with the legendary Andy Gibb. This is a Jet magazine from 2006 with Outkast, and looks like this when Terrell Owens went to the Dallas Cowboys. All right, let's see what else we got here. This is from 1985 with Howard Rollins. He played on the TV show version of The Heat of the Night. And there's another issue with Gary Coleman and Emmanuel Lewis, who was the star of the TV show Webster, that was out in the 80s as well. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, right here we got 2 issues of Lisa Ray. I was fortunate enough to meet her back in 2016, and we took a picture together. And there's the Real Housewives of Atlanta when they was on the cover of the Jet magazine, probably around 2009. And this is the Jet magazine issue when Teddy Pendergrass passed away. And that's Suzette Charles. She was one of the first Miss America winners. And that's Kim Fields when she was playing on The Facts of Life. And there's Red Fox, Natalie Cole. This is Jennifer Bell. I believe she played in Flashdance. I still haven't seen that movie, but that soundtrack was pretty awesome. That's Veronica Ali. I believe she was married to Muhammad Ali. So this would have been around, let's see, 1985 looks like. And this is when Bernie Mac passed away in 2008. And this is when Michael Jackson passed away in 2009. And looks like there was another issue that was printed. And here's Toni Braxton when she was in the Jet magazine. This was 1994. So, actually January of 1994. Yeah, I really, to this day, still love Toni Braxton's music and her as a person. She's one of the greatest of all time, in my opinion. This is Shari Belafonte, Harry Belafonte's daughter. She went on to star in the TV show Hotel, which I'm watching right now. This issue is talking about how the legendary and late Vesta Williams lost almost 100 pounds. When she was alive, she made good music as well. I enjoyed her music as well. She was a very pretty lady. Okay. Now this issue is from, let's see, 85. That's Billy Dee Williams and the late Diahann Carroll. Let's see which one this is. Okay. This issue features Jayne Kennedy. She was one of the first black, I guess you call it, sports people. She used to do the NFL pregame show back in like the late 70s and early 80s. Okay, this is when the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was on the air. And that's Reggie Jackson talking about his car collection. This is when James Brown passed away in 2006. Okay, let's see. This is Toni Braxton when her album Secrets came out. Once again, an excellent album, great songs. I think I might listen to it now. Okay, this is Tiger Woods, I believe, when he won his first Masters victory. This is Vernon Jordan, and this is Harry Belafonte with his daughter Shari Belafonte, and this is Wesley Snipes and Shanae Latham in the movie Disappearing Acts. Once again, this was a good movie as well. I got it in my collection. And this is Kid and Play in one of their movies, Class Act. Me and my granny went to go see this movie when it came out. And this is Anita Baker. Once again, one of the greatest of all times. She started out in 1983 with the album called The Songstress. And then in 86, she came out with Rapture. In 1989, she came out with, but actually, let me rephrase that. 1988, she came out with Giving You the Best That I Got. And then in 1990, she came out with Compositions. And in 1994, she came out with The Rhythm of Love. All these albums was fantastic. This was when Grey's Anatomy first came on the air. I used to like Chandra Wilson. I thought she was so pretty. And there's the Jeffersons. Let's see what this was. February of 1985. So they was just about to go off the air. Because the Jeffersons ran from 1975 to 1985 and was a spinoff of All in the Family. This is Magic Johnson and his wife, and when he had his I guess son. This probably was around 1992. Tony Dungy when he won the Super Bowl. And that's gospel singer Donnie McClurkin. This is when the Chicago Bulls won 70 games back in '96. And this is Jordan in 95 when he came back. And these 3 issues are from the inauguration and election of President Barack Obama. And here's Billy D. Williams and the Parkers. This is when Janet Jackson and James DeBarge got married. They didn't stay married for long, but they was married for a little while. And this is En Vogue. I used to love En Vogue. I had all their CDs, posters, and all that. I loved all of them. This is Kimberly Aiken. She was a Miss America winner back in '93. This is Tim Reed and his wife, Daphne Maxwell. They played in the TV show Simon and Simon together. Tim Reed also played in WKRP in Cincinnati back in the 70s. This is Whoopi Goldberg and Ted Danson. They was a couple back in the 90s for a short little while. This is Michael Jordan when he retired, probably the first time in '93 after that first three-peat when they beat the Phoenix Suns. This is Anita Baker. This issue, I don't even have to look at it. I know this is from 1990 because that's when Compositions came out. This is the Jet magazine from 1996. When the Olympics was here. I had just graduated high school in June of 1996, right before the Olympics got here. And there's Philip Michael Thomas and Olivia Brown. They played in Miami Vice together. And there's Eddie Murphy when he played in Beverly Hills Cop 2, which came out in '87. That's the comedian Sinbad. And this is when O.J. Simpson was found not guilty. And there's Patti LaBelle and Emmanuel Lewis again. Okay, what we have here is the Pointer Sisters. The Pointer Sisters was big in the 80s as well. They had hits such as Automatic, I'm So Excited, the Neutron Dance, and Fire, all those hits. And right here, we have Mayor Andy Young. He was the mayor of Atlanta when I was a kid. And I like this issue. This was back in 1981. I'm not sure who this man is, but he was 94 years old and his wife was 34 years old. All I can say is go ahead on. Okay, so this is Morgan Freeman back in '96. And this is the late Vanity. Let me see when this see what this say. 1985. Now this one right here, this one is very special to me. It's 2 issues of the late, great Minnie Riperton. Minnie Riperton is one of the greatest singers of all time. So many hits. Loving You, Memory Lane, the list just goes on and on. And then she had the song called Perfect Angel. And that's what I call her. Every time I think of her, I think of her as the perfect angel. So let's open it up and see what it, in this little package I got. Okay, here we go. So October 28th, 1976, She was on the cover of Jet magazine with her husband, Richard Rudolph. Richard Rudolph is a great music producer. He wrote some of the songs for the Running Scared soundtrack. He probably did more work, but I just can't remember. But I know the Running Scared soundtrack was excellent. So let's open it up and see what's in here. Cause this was before I was even born, so I'm curious to know what's in here. Naturally, we'll start with the beauty of the week. And if I remember correctly, the beauty of the week was always on page 43. Let's see if it's on page 43 in here. And I also like these old advertisements. Let's see what else we have here. This is when they used to do the Ebony Fashion Fair fashion show. I think my mom used to like to go. Let's see what it say. But let's see, that's page 39. I also used to like this week's best photos. Let's see who that is. Oh, that's just a spectator. Yep, I was right. It's always on page 43. So, let me see. So, this lovely lady is holding a dog. So, once again, this is from 1976. So, yeah, it'd be a little different. And then they used to have the weekly almanac. Here's some more old advertisement from 1976. This is from McDonald's. I like the way they used to do the Bitmax and stuff back in the 70s and 80s. Let's see, that looks like some kind of quarter pounder or something. But yes, very tasty indeed. And another thing I like about the Jet magazine is the Soul Brothers Top 20. So back in 76, the #1 song was Give It Up by Tyrone Davis. I don't know much about him, but I do know he was on American Bandstand, probably performing this song. And this is an advertisement for Stevie Wonder's album, Songs in the Key of Life. Another advertisement. And Virginia Slims, they always say, you come a long way, baby. Okay, now, this is from 1978. June the 1st of 1978. This was published a year before Minnie Riperton passed away. Minnie Riperton passed away July of 1979. So let me see what they have to say in here. Another advertisement. It's kind of scary to me. I don't like some of the advertisement they had back in the 70s. Kind of spooky. And there's the Sulfur 8. And I want to see what the beauty of the week was. That's Dionne Warwick. I don't know if you can see it, okay. But she was in the week's best photos back in 78. So this is the beauty of the week back in 78. It says Fort Dix Dynamite. So she was in the Army, a clerk typist. Let's see what else we have here. Muhammad Ali and Sammy Davis Jr. together. There's Donna Summers and the legendary Dick Clark. Donna Summers was the only person to ever host American Bandstand. Dick Clark always hosted American Bandstand, but she wanted to host it that Saturday back in 1978, and he let her. Not only did she host the show, she performed some songs as well. Let's see what else we have here. That's Archie Bunker, Carol O'Connor, with the mayor's wife of Los Angeles, Mrs. Ethel Bradley. That's that Canadian Mist. And this is another liquor drink. I guess back in the 70s, during this time period, I guess that's all black people did was drink liquor. Good grief. That's all that's in here is like alcohol. Oh, and here's the article about the legendary Minnie Riperton. That's her with President Jimmy Carter. He gave her an award. It says because she died of breast cancer, so she did a lot of work with the Cancer Society to spread awareness. Let's see what this is. And there's some more photos of her and her husband. It looks like with a radio DJ. That's Minnie Riperton with Olivia Newton-John. And that's her again with her husband. And they also used to do a thing to show you what was coming on TV for the week. But I want to go back to see what yeah, that's what I want to see. So in 1978, June the 1st of 1978, the OJs was on the top of the charts with Used to Be My Girl. And then there's Denise Williams. She was on the charts in the number 2 position with Too Much, Too Little, Too Late with Johnny Mathis. Well, friends and neighbors, I think that's about it for this video. I kind of went over what I wanted to go over. I didn't realize the video was going to be this long. But thank you for watching. And we'll see you on the next video. Ha ha.